And joining me now live from Melbourne is Sky News golf expert Bruce Young. First things first, Bruce, we've had Jeff Ogilvy putting him in from everywhere, but we've had Ian Poulter go down with illness. We've had Stewie Appleby go down with his back. What's going on in Melbourne? Are you okay down there?
I'm okay. Morning, Luke. Yes, it's, well, as Ian Poulter described, he was suffering from some sort of a debilitating illness yesterday. I think it was something that he'd eaten the night before, but he really took a while to get cranked up yesterday, but he really stormed home over the closing holes, as this golf course really allows you to do to a large extent. Those last few holes really provide a lot of opportunity, also a lot of danger, but Ian Poulter really took advantage of them and birdied 3 of the last 5 holes, I think it was, to move into an outright lead by 2 shots over Matthew Giles.
He's sort of a player who's been there or thereabouts at every tournament, even on the US PGA Tour and really any tournament that he plays. But in terms of breaking through for a real stack of wins and getting up there with the best of the best in the world, do you think we're going to see that from him?
Well, he has been inside the top 10 at various stages throughout his career. Interestingly enough, he slipped from 11th to 28th in the world this year. One of the reasons that he was keen to come down here was to take advantage of Luke Donald's position in the tournament. This brings a lot of ranking points to the tournament. And if he can go on and win this tournament this week, he'll move significantly up the world rankings, and that'll benefit his end of season bonuses, because some of the contracts that he has are based on his performance at the end of the season in the world rankings. So there's a lot at stake for him, not only in terms of the prize money in the tournament, the title of the Australian Masters champion, and no doubt a significant amount of appearance money, but also bonuses in terms of his contract. So look, he can go on and win it, there's no doubt about that, but he's going to be under pressure from a large amount of players, quality players, that are certainly within striking distance with 36 holes to play.
Yeah, this leaderboard's so stacked. There's so many players still in contention.
Well, there are, and many of them high quality players too. Admittedly, Matthew Giles is a relative unknown, although he is a high quality player, a former world junior champion, only 22 years of age, a Sydney-sider who lives in Scottsdale. But he's a good quality player. Ashley Hall has won around the Sandbelt before, admittedly in lesser events, but he's starting to establish himself as a bona fide professional golfer. And then 4 shots off the lead are the likes of Brendan Jones, such a success story in Japan, Nathan Green, a winner on the PGA Tour, Jeff Ogilvy, who had the equal best round yesterday of 66, and the old warhorse, Peter Lonard. Great to see Peter after a tough couple of years following hip and knee surgery back in 2010 being in the mix. He dropped 3 shots late in his round yesterday, Peter, when he was actually in the lead, but he's still very much in the thick of things moving into the weekend. And then back at 3 under, Luke Donald, certainly not out of it, and Greg Chalmers, who of course is trying to achieve that triple crown by winning the Australian Open, the PGA, and the Australian Masters in the one season. And if he's able to do so, he'll move inside the top 50 in the world rankings and will be guaranteed a place at Augusta National next year.
A lot of people are expecting so much out of Luke Donald because of his #1 ranking, and I guess rightly so. How have you rated his performance so far?
Oh, look, I think we have to cut him a bit of slack. I think it's been a long, tough season for him. Some personal issues as well. His father passed away a few weeks ago, and he had the birth of his second child not so long ago as well. But he's been able to maintain that amazing consistency both sides of the Atlantic, in Europe and on the PGA Tour. He hasn't won a major yet, but he's won some high-quality tournaments. It's been a phenomenal performance this season. You get the feeling that he's starting to come to terms with the Victoria Golf Club, learning as he goes, and I still see him as being a major threat to those ahead of him over the next 36 holes.
What about Jeff Ogilvy? Is this his home course?
Well, it was originally, yes. It was where he played much of his pennant golf. He knows the golf course inside out. But as we saw at the President's Cup, we perhaps make a little bit too much of local knowledge. These guys at this level are adapting to new conditions each and every week. Many of these guys are pretty conversant with and very much familiar with Melbourne Sandbelt golf courses. But that 66 that he produced yesterday was a high-quality round and a strong finish, and he's very much in the thick of it over the closing 36 holes.
All right, putting you on the spot, 2 rounds to go. Who's going to be wearing that gold or yellow jacket come Sunday afternoon?
Well, Ian Poulter has the lead now, and you'd be foolish to dismiss his chances. He's the second highest ranked player in this field after Luke Donald. But I think the likes of Jeff Ogilvy and maybe, as I said, Luke Donald and Greg Chalmers could well make their way through the field over the closing 36 holes and make this a spectacular finish. This is a great golf course, a great tournament golf course with plenty of opportunities over the closing stages. It gives with one hand and takes with the other. We love this golf course. Most of the players do too. This is going to be a fascinating closing 36 holes, Luke.
All right, Bruce, as always, thanks very much for your time. We'll speak again soon.
Cheers.
There you go, golf expert Bruce Young live from Melbourne.